Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're sitting at the Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
Fridays when we go live streaming.
Yay. I don't know what it was. I was like, Couples Table. Anyway, we are here. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy February 16th. Yeah.
Yay. Happy late Valentine's.
Let's check in with everyone. Homesick Mac is in the house. Parker Jennings, hello. Kat is here. Hello, hello. Bailey, hey to you. Jules is here. Hi, everyone. The Rio Pell Room is checking in. Hello. Audio Hotline. Hey there. And Call Me Cubby. Call Me Cubby. I was trying to add you to the YouTube scoreboard, and I couldn't find your channel. I was trying to search it, and I couldn't find it. Chip. Oh, my gosh.
Hey.
Hello. Good to see you.
It's been a min.
It's been a min. Okay, so today's just going to be a normal, same with you. Let's go. Hello.
Hey.
I couldn't find your YouTube channel. So actually, really quick, we have a very exciting guest today.
Yeah.
But before we dive in, I have to show you guys something because I'm so proud of it. This week on Wednesday, we kicked off, this is a little preview of who our guest is, but we kicked off YouTube Huddle Up again. And so Call Me Cubby, I couldn't find your channel. Can you Instagram it to me and let's go hello here. I couldn't find it when I searched it.
Let's go Helio? Or is it hello?
I think it's hello.
Sorry.
Oh, it is Helio.
See?
Oh, well then maybe I could find it now. I'm sorry. The thing is my monitor is super far and I can't see, so but yeah, look, we have 19 people on the YouTube Huddle Up.
That's amazing.
Here's all our goals. It's good times.
So good.
Yeah, so if you want to join us on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over on my tutorial channel because it's been super fun.
And what's the URL for the tutorial channel?
Didn't I just say it? YouTube.com/Heather Ramirez.
I don't know.
Did I not say it?
Blacked out for a minute.
Hey, introvert amateur. Yes. Okay. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest for today. Ready, set. Yay!
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Sorry, I was watching it through the YouTube. I wasn't sure.
The YouTube.
The YouTube.
It's fine.
Okay, if you don't know who this is my brother. Sorry, I'm adding a border to you as we speak.
Yay.
There we go. This is my brother Kevin. And he just hit 100K, 100,000,
literally yesterday,
100,000 YouTube subscribers on his channel yesterday. And that's insane.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? How does it feel?
It's kind of crazy. I don't know. It's so funny because there are like some points where I really wanted to like, I never thought it was going to happen. And then all of a sudden it does. And then it's like, oh, well, I guess that happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Oh,
How long ago did you start your channel?
I started my channel in 2020, so I was a pandemic channel, just like a
Pandemic
lot of
baby.
other people. Yeah, and yeah, I started I think in July. So like my
Wait,
very first.
hold that thought. Let me pull up your channel. Hold on one second. I don't have you on here.
It's just us.
It's just us. Hold on.
Oh, no, that's fine.
See, for anyone who
Boom.
doesn't use Ecamm, look how you can edit stuff on the fly.
Look
Isn't
how
that
easy this
cool?
is. Bam. See?
Easy
Okay.
cam.
So here's your channel. So tell us about it. What's your YouTube channel about?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is about working with new creative mediums. So when I got laid off in 2020, I wasn't doing a lot of like design stuff, and in my career, I'd always been like a traditional digital designer, but I was no longer using those programs, and I was kind of shifting more towards like a producer role. And so I was kind of worried that I was going to lose the skills that I had obviously gained like through the years, and I wanted to learn new things just because I liked creating. So and during the pandemic, I was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to start learning things that I've always wanted to do. And then I started my channel and then recorded my progress along the way. So, like, my earlier videos were really like, they weren't really focused on 3D, but I did a lot
Let's
of
go to
like
oldest
drawing.
here.
Oh gosh, no. I know. So it was like hand lettering. I did like bracelet making, and I did like Procreate tutorials. And then this is when I started to like veer into 3D. And I think that's once I did that, and then I focused more on like doing process videos and tutorials,
This is
it kind of
me.
just, yes, that's
Oh,
you.
look, there's Tom.
Oh yeah, because Kevin's the one who did my.
We're
Well,
here.
he didn't do it for this, but he did the artwork that I use as my podcast cover.
It's kind of crazy to think that that was 3 years
I
ago.
know.
That was, I can't believe that. So just looking back on all of this stuff is just insane. So yeah, it's been a long time, but it actually doesn't feel like that long, which is, yeah, pretty crazy.
Well, so I think when a lot of us haven't hit 100K. It's crazy that I know my family.
Most of us on this stream have.
I know my family has 2 silver play buttons, which is
Silly.
insane. But like my question is, did you know like what your YouTube channel was gonna be about when you started? Because I think that's the biggest thing is like a lot of us, and I know you could even talk about like how it's still an ongoing journey, because I'm sure like the last time we talked, you were like, oh, maybe, you're starting to like lean into a different thing. How, I don't know, if you can think back on like, the past, since like 2020,
Yeah.
how sure were you in terms of this is what I make content about?
Honestly, I didn't expect. Okay, so I started a YouTube channel because of you, right?
Yes.
Heather. Heather's
Oh, yeah.
like Heather. So I actually have one video, my very first video, where I was introducing myself because Heather like inspired me to like, do that whole put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I was, but then
Just
I hid it
create.
because I'm still, yeah. So I changed my format. But I remember
Oh,
I
shoot.
had been looking at someone else's channel. I think it was Darren's channel, and then I saw he had 52 subscribers, and at the time I only had like 7. I was like, wow, I wonder when I can get to 52. I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna
Yeah.
get there.
Or
And then
100.
yeah, I passed it, and I distinctly remember when I got to 75, and I was already just so happy. I was like, wow, I can't believe like I have 75 subscribers.
Yeah.
So like I think at the time when I started the channel, I wasn't really thinking, oh, I'm gonna start a channel because I want views or I want
Right.
a following. I was just doing it because I think like I just wanted to have fun with it. I just wanted to be proud of the stuff that I was making, because that was what mattered to me. As long as I was proud of it, because it's kind of like a portfolio. Like after knowing what a channel is now, it's pretty much a progression of your journey of growth as a person, but like in a visual format. You don't realize it until like you look back on it, but it's like living proof that you are growing as a person. And I don't think I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my channel at that time, because like even now it continuously evolves, because I'm just, you're growing as a person. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think yeah, that's it.
Did you? Well, do you have anything?
No, I mean, I think it's just, I think there's a credit to be given here to Heather because like neither of us. I mean, I had started my channel before, but I didn't have the like the push to like.
Let me tell
go
you,
and make
there are
anything.
two people that I always believed in, and they're right here. Okay, these two right here, I was always like, you guys, if you had a YouTube channel, you could help so many people, like. Because I know how much I get out of you as like just being in my life, and I was like, oh my god, you guys are so capable and talented,
But
and
even
it's just such a big like I told you so.
it is the biggest. Heather's favorite letter of the alphabet is C.
See,
But you
I
were just
told
showing
you
us
so.
the huddle up scoreboard, and it's like
Oh,
we're two people on the stream right now, but I feel like you do such a good job of encouraging and motivating people, and that's a big thing. Is
Yeah.
like seeing someone else who makes you feel like I could do this, and it's not crazy to want to do this, or it's not
Hmm.
crazy to put time into it at the beginning, like Kevin said, where it's like
I
nobody's
think
watching and nobody's doing
the
anything,
important
but
thing is that I think you helped me not feel like I was being stupid. Like I think
right,
that's the
because
important thing,
it
is because
feels like a stupid thing, especially when
oh
you're
yeah,
yeah when you're
like in the
starting. It's
grand
like what
oh my
starting a
gosh, in the
YouTube
grand
channel.
scheme of like, yeah, when you're just doing things as you should be doing, like you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and then you want to do this side thing that like everyone in the world is most likely going to make fun of you for, or like not really understand it. So it's like they just, they're not sure how to react to it. It's like
Yeah,
obviously like it's kind of a mental game, but like you want to do it. So I think that was your big impact, is that you kind of made me not really feel like, oh, you can do this and it's not stupid, because it's part of you, like you have it in you. So
yeah. So here's a question for both you guys, since both of you are in silver play button status now.
oh gosh.
Well, actually, I don't know about you, but I know for Kevin, like there were times where you're just like, I'm done. Like it's just frustrating. It's hard. It's like, do either of you did you ever have a moment where you're like, okay, I'm actually done?
I have not. It's just been easy, no issues. It's been hard. There's been frustrating moments, but I've never had a I'm quitting moment.
Yeah. How about you, Kevin?
I've never had a legitimate I'm quitting moment,
Yeah, because
but
then
it
you would
was
like it's not a declaration. Sometimes you're just like, I
no.
don't know, and it's just there.
No, exactly. I look at the channel as like it's not something you have to do. It's
Right.
something that represents you. So like I think that when people have a lot of rage quitting, or I'm just leaving YouTube, or I'm doing that, it's most of the time I feel like it's stemming from something they don't want to do. And I've had tons of those moments. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I remember the first time I got like my first viral video, which was like for learning Blender for 45 days. Most of my subscribers came from that. They were just really interested in seeing like something really quick. They weren't interested in me as a person.
Right.
And so I started tailoring the content to like, obviously fit those people's, but it didn't make me happy, obviously. So it's kind of like in times like that where you're not really making the content you want to make, and you're kind of catering to other people, and it doesn't feel like it's authentic. That's when I got those feelings where like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
But it was never like, okay, as a whole I want to quit the channel, because I think as a whole the channel is a detriment to it never felt like that. it
Right.
just
Of course.
it only felt that way when I wasn't doing things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a couple of videos that have passed the 1 million view mark, which like I don't have.
You don't.
No, I've never had. My most viewed video is 550K, I think.
Oh wow.
Somewhere around there. I don't have a million one, and that is interesting because that is so many people.
That's a lot of
And
people.
like, yeah, it's hard. You can have these things where it's like it's almost a blessing and a curse, right? Because the video does really well, but then it's like,
Do
does that
you start
dictate what you
making,
do
yeah,
forever?
do you
And
start making content that's just like that?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the trap that a lot of people fall in. I think is like if you're not, if you're not used to YouTube or you're kind of like a casual viewer, you think that the big thing is you just want views. You want
So
that's
do
all
the
that
thing
really
that's
matters.
working. Yeah.
Yeah, do the thing that working. The subscriber numbers, like this is really what matters. And obviously because on paper that's what people on the outside see, but in reality, like as the creator, it like okay, sure, a lot of views are great, but it depends on what kind of video you are trying to make and what audience you want to attract. At that point, it's like you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into a specific niche because that's how the algorithm works. Like if you're working with the algorithm and you upload a video specifically on like I don't know modeling, it's like that's who it's going to show it to, and everyone is going to expect that's what your content's going to be. So it kind of limited me because I was like, well, I love working with all creative mediums, but now in order to retain this audience that I've gained, like I kind of have to like, but I mean I was fortunate enough that I mean the videos that did get popular were just kind of in the same realm of what I wanted to do. So like I don't know, it kind of bleeds into the kind of art that I enjoy making. So it wasn't bad, and then I ended up making a course on like the tool that I
Yeah.
use. So
Well,
like it kind of worked out.
oh,
So
sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah.
sorry, we're like browsing through your channel.
Well, so
Oh
show
yeah,
this.
no
Go
worries.
go to new scene.
Oh, here, I'll let you do it.
Okay, so Kevin makes shorts.
Yeah,
You,
I
you
didn't realize you
don't,
had this many shorts.
yeah, like you make
What do you mean
both. You're not
short?
strictly a shorts channel, but you
No.
have a lot more shorts than both me and Tom combined.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I
This is
I
a
do
lot.
focus a lot on shorts. And obviously I don't think like
What's your
my
insight here? Like, is this
I
something
think
that you're gonna lean into, or
I mean, I do like shorts, but it's really just because like I'm active on both Instagram and YouTube. Those are the two platforms, right?
yeah?
But it's just that because I have those reels, I just post and ghost on YouTube Shorts, and then I do the same thing for Twitter, X, or TikTok. Like I'm on every social platform, but the two platforms that I make content for are Instagram and YouTube. As far as YouTube Shorts go, I actually don't think it performs as well for me as maybe some other people. And I've heard like mixed opinions. Like I have a friend that has like he reached like 300,000 subscribers, and I guess like shorts aren't really like he got really popular with shorts, but like it just didn't give him the audience he wanted. I guess
Hmm.
they're not really like the staying kind of an audience because I think like it's just the nature of the format. Like I don't know, some people have a lot of luck and they do get that audience that keeps coming back, but it's like you're trying to digest information in 15 seconds and it's like, oh well great, thank you for that 15 seconds of information, like that's all I needed. I don't
Yeah.
need you the
More,
personality, I just
yeah.
needed the information. Yeah, so that's why I think like I don't know, long format is I like to do both. I still like having both. There's like equity in both. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just yeah
especially I
because
think.
I yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's because I'm an art, like I make animations. It also works well for that format.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too, because it depends on the content you're making, because you're especially like 3D animation stuff. Like so much work can go into a few
15
seconds,
seconds. Yeah.
and so it's like a
yeah,
perfect
It's like
end
15
result.
hours. Yeah.
Is a good short. It's entertaining. It's cool. And then if people want to learn more, or like, wait, how did he do this? Then it leans into like the long form video, which is cool.
yeah. I will
Introvert
say,
Amateur says, I totally
oh,
feel like that right now. My last video from 2 days ago is tanking compared to my last 5 to 6 SEO friendly videos regarding the view topic. We've
Yeah.
all been there.
Well, but I
all
mean,
of us are like, yeah.
it depends too. And there's some videos, like I have a few videos scheduled that I know will not perform well. Like they just won't. They maybe would get 1,000 to 2,000 views a year. Like they're not going to do well, but they're videos that I do want on my channel because they're good resources, they're good examples, they're things that, like, even though they don't get a ton of views, they get
yeah,
very high quality views where it's going to be meaningful to someone. And that I think at this point, I mean, I think all of us have had the experience where something that didn't perform well on YouTube led to like, we met through a video that had like under 100 views was like the first one I watched of you. Like,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So
Yeah, it's hard.
I saw Audio Hotlines thing of more of a jeans guy. I don't really like shorts. I do like calling my long form videos YouTube pants.
I know. Tom does that. Pants. Michael is also here. So if you guys are just tuning in, this is my brother who just crossed 100K.
Less than 24 hours ago.
Yes,
Fresh.
on YouTube, which is so crazy. So crazy. What do you think? Could you talk about what the difference is between running a channel for, say, the first 5,000 subscribers to now?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is pressure, because like when you have like
it's more or less.
Oh, it's more. Like you start to overthink. It's a mental game, man. So it's like with 50, like 25 subscribers, I don't really care. I'm just gonna put whatever. There's no stakes to be had. Yeah, it's like but as soon as you keep growing, it's like you want to retain the audience base. Obviously, like you want to make sure that okay, I'm starting to be a content creator. Like I want to be able to make good content to retain people. So then as you start to grow like 1,000, 2,000, like you start to think about like, okay, is this going to fit the people that, subscribe to me? But at the same time, like some people are so good that they're able to organically do it. Like they have such a hold on their audience and they know what they like. But for me, it's like, because a lot of my growth stemmed from very specific videos, like the ones that have over 1 million views. I think that I was a little bit wary of like, okay, if I put this out, will I lose subscribers? Like, but then I just kind of had to say like, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's like, well, then like have them leave. I'll just get ones that actually like the stuff that I make. It's like what you said, the culling method. Like, okay, then you don't need them. But obviously, you do have that mental, barrier in your mind where you're like, oh, I don't know if this is going to be good or not. But I don't think that should ever, I don't know, hinder you from uploading. It should only make you want to like make the content better, but never like influence your decision to upload. I think that.
Yeah, because then it makes it only gets harder to create if it's not in line. If it's not aligned, then it's like it just becomes more of a chore than something that's fun.
Yeah, I think so.
Kat says, did any of you see Vanessa Lau's recent video? I did not, but it keeps like.
Yeah, weren't you telling me about it?
It was, the title is I built a 7-figure business and then I quit, and I don't know what it's about, so I don't know, but I want to watch it. So Vanessa Lau is like, she. Do you know her, Kevin?
Mm-mm.
So she the way that I would describe her is that she was like one of the like newest popular content creator coaches or like YouTube coaches like on YouTube. So making content about like how to make content.
I think you told me about her.
She was like I don't know, one of the like recent bunch.
Yeah.
That like maybe in 2022 is like everyone's going to her now, But then I was like not really on YouTube last year. Yeah, yesteryear. So I don't know. I don't know what happened, but her channel. I mean, she definitely went from like, it was just like catapulting growth. You will find it interesting, Heather.
Interesting.
We'll have to watch it.
I'm curious about it.
Yeah. You want this one?
Oh no, this is a perfect question for Kevin. Do you worry about AI taking work away from animators? Especially, I was telling Heather about the Sora stuff that like came out yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
It's a little terrifying.
I have a feeling that yes, it will probably take some part of the pipeline. I don't know, the way that it seems like it's going. And I've talked about this like a couple of times, but I think like it's going to definitely end up with people managing that AI process inevitably. So like in 5 to 10 years, like there are going to be specific parts of like an animation pipeline that will be replaced by AI. I mean, that's just inevitable.
So I don't know if he's here. Ben Tolson. He's like, in the Couple Stable comments a lot. I say like a month or two ago, he made an AI generated video of himself. So
Yeah.
he like
Oh,
uploaded like a
crazy.
talking
Yeah.
head like this.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. He said, like, he posted, and the the avatar or whatever said, like, this is an AI generated video. I'm just giving it a test. Like, can you tell it whatever? If he didn't say that though, I think if he just said like,
Just
"Hey, I'm
scrolling.
Ben," yeah, and you're just scrolling on Instagram,
I
honestly, like
know.
I would bet like the majority of people would not have questioned it at all. And that's a
Yeah.
person. Like, that's not a VTuber, that's not animation, that's this. Like,
I know. I think I was watching Marcus's video,
Mm-hmm.
and he
oh,
was like,
QHD.
it's an election year in the US, and you have this
Oh God,
technology.
here
It's
we
like
go.
people can't detect it. I know. It's like a whole thing. But yeah, so like 4 years ago when, I was at Imagineering and then they were talking about AI, we always had to position AI as, oh, it's gonna be a tool. Like it's gonna be a tool in the hands of creators. And then for some reason, because like executives ran with that, the greater diaspora of the internet was like, yeah, it's just going to be a tool, don't be afraid of it, don't be afraid of it. And then now it's advancing. I wonder if
Real
the
fast.
cool tech bros are still going to live with that argument, because even as an artist, like I understood that at the time, yes, it could be a tool because the technology wasn't mature yet. Like it was so primitive. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
do style transfer from an image to, like, the Picasso style to an image, done. Like that was the extent of what you could do. Now you have like machine learning models that are completely advanced that could just replicate something in an instant.
Completely generate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I could look at those videos and obviously get like sad or upset. But really, what I think I've had to realize about my content is I like the process of it. And that's kind of what I like to put forward, is the process of creating. I don't think that will ever go away. Like I think that
Yeah.
maybe certain like art
If
forms
anything,
or
I
like
think people will
mediums.
gravitate more. Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's the difference between like something handmade and something machine made. It's like,
Right.
well then, like, it's like Liziki. Okay, I still love her. Like she's like my favorite, right? But think about it. She's like chopping
Oh,
down corn
overcame.
stalks and living in the woodlands, and people are still interested because they are interested in the process. It's
Right.
like I see people who work with watercolors, they're still interested in the process of that. It's not like, oh, because AI art is going to come out, it's going to replace all of, those artists or those. But like, I think as far as content creators go, I think it's just all a matter of, oh my gosh, did you watch the documentary of what happened to her?
Oh my
No.
God, what happened?
I know.
Okay, so this
I need
channel,
to watch that.
Liziki, dang, the
Yes.
three of us went down a rabbit hole with this girl. She's like, she lives in like the mountains of China or something, and it's basically cooking videos, but she grows everything. Like, if she like, I don't know, if she's gonna make tofu, she like grows the soybean and then like
But then she'll
shapes
also
it.
like make the tofu press. Like she'll
Yeah,
cut
yeah,
down
like,
bamboo and like make the
and like
whatever.
she doesn't talk at all, and it's just
Yeah.
like her in the forest, and it's like so like ASMR soothing, like that type of
But like you could go to
content.
the store and buy tofu. Nobody's gonna make, even though it's instructional, no one's gonna do it. But
Yeah.
it's watching somebody do it by hand.
Exactly. I think
That's the
it's
magical part.
Fascinating, yeah. So
there's like a therapeutic aspect to it. There's like a like there's a guy who does papercraft animations on YouTube. Like he has like 2 million followers, but it's like paper, you can easily replace that with CGI or even an AI generated thing, but it's just that people are interested in the craft, the process. Like I don't
yeah,
think,
I don't
no
think
matter
that's gonna
where,
go away.
yeah, the technology, like sure it's coming, but I don't think it's going to replace like personalities like
Yeah,
Yeah.
that people gravitate towards, So I don't know.
hopefully
It's
not.
A thing
and
that gave me
hopefully
a little
not.
bit
We'll
of
see.
solace that kind of made me feel better, which maybe you would know more about, is and it kind of goes into this comment from Michael here, who's it says he pitched the digital degree I teach to put an AI ethics component into the professionalism business class. Kevin has a video on AI ethics, and the thing that I've seen with all the Sora stuff in the video, because what Sora and all that stuff is text to video. Like you can
Video.
say,
Yeah.
person wearing this kind of clothing, walking in this kind of setting, this kind of vibe or whatever, and it makes it. But the thing that I heard people talking about was for bigger companies to take that on as a tool, a lot of it could potentially come down to copyright and how the things were trained, because if the AI was trained on copyrighted material,
You're
then a
effed.
bigger company is not going to want to touch it, because like, I don't know, whatever.
Legal is going to be like, nah.
Yeah, it turns out a bunch of Disney animations or
Yeah.
something
I know.
used in
Are you
this.
kidding?
And now you
I
have
think
Disney after you.
So the worry that I'm now running into with that is that so you do have like a lot of like AI models that sure they're trained on existing data from the internet, but they're getting so good now to where they put out results, retrain it, put out results, retrain it, to where it gets
the
so
original data is
diluted.
not even. Yeah.
It's not even, but that's
It's
the way
so
that they hide
diluted.
it. Exactly. It's so
Yeah.
diluted. So it's like, sure, my data was initially trained like they trained on my data like 100 tries ago,
Yeah.
but now it's like,
It's
so
training on its
like at one
own
point,
data.
yeah. So because
Yeah.
like I've always stood by the fact that it has to be ethical data that's sourced, and that's why even though I have my issues with Adobe, like Adobe Firefly and their AI stuff is actually like not bad because they use Adobe stock photo, like their whole database.
Oh.
Yeah, and artists have consented to actually like saying, yes, I want to put my art there, and
Participate
I
in
think
this.
that's
Yeah.
fine. But like as opposed to like Midjourney that just like ripped it from um like DeviantArt or like it's just all over the internet. It's just crazy, and I don't know. It's going to come down to a point where a lot of people are not going to be able to recognize like, oh yeah, my art was stolen, because that argument is going to be gone within a year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad because it's like we should have been having those conversations 5 years ago, but
You're a drop in the ocean. It's like, how do
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again,
That's been
like
thoroughly depressing.
the thing is, I don't know, I'm hoping that AI can't replicate the process of creating that, because it's true, like AI can generate it in 2 seconds, but I think again, people like I don't know, the process of it, the craft of it, the art of the craft. I think that's what's important. But
Yeah. I think
or
that
maybe I'm just lying to myself.
no, honestly, like I really think that that base connection will always be there,
Yeah.
That'll always be there. I think that even so Tom went live yesterday for the first time in I
Mm.
don't even know. When was it?
6 months.
So a while, right? So safe to say, like there were a lot of people in the comments I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you had like 130 people watching basically the whole time. And all of the discussion, the comments, you did have subscriber
That was an accident.
mode,
I didn't mean to do
or
that.
subscriber chat only mode on, but like
Oh no.
I was reading the comments and I was like, okay, these are a lot of new people to me. Obviously, I've been a follower of your channel since the beginning. There are a lot of new people to me, and the questions and the comments and the chat that they're like typing and sharing and connecting with are all like not surface level, like like what's up or whatever. It's like really specific questions, or like really nice, hey, just dropping by but wanted to say your content's been so helpful, it's helped me to do this. And it's like,
that was awesome.
yeah, like that I feel like that will always have a place in the world. Like there's always going to be people who need that, want that, seek that out. And I'm sure I think like AI will help us as creators. It's like I could just even think about things in our workflow that were like, like our iPhones even. I remember thinking like, I'm never gonna get a cell phone without physical buttons.
I remember that.
Yeah. And like now it's like I shoot most of my video on this thing.
Yeah.
So I think like I feel like, we will
button.
figure out a way to incorporate it, but I think the like person to person connection will always.
Yeah, I even had someone leave a comment this morning on. I did a video recently about my podcast workflow, like my own podcast, which is just it's audio only to the Rodecaster, no editing. And the person was saying, so on that video, I've done a couple of those. A common thing I get is like, do you really not edit? Aren't you supposed to edit? And I kind of like explain my philosophy on that specific show. But this person said, I always hear edit, edit, edit. And he's like, I cut out the big mistakes, but I leave in everything else because I feel like he was essentially saying in the world where everything is so highly edited, highly specific, highly viewer attention, retention designed, the idea of just getting to sort of sit and like ruminate with someone over something
Yeah.
is really valuable. And that's a thing that's very hard to duplicate unless you're a person who's sitting and ruminating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homesick Max says AI is a beast with only its heels still in the box. I like a lot of it, but it's still spooky.
Yeah, I know the genie won't go back in the bottle, so I'm trying to find like positive ways to use it, look at it, approach it, but I am nervous too.
I feel that genuinity will shine in a world of AI. Imperfections will be the new high quality.
I like that. It's also though why I always say thank you to Alexa.
Well,
Thank
it's
you.
like, I mean, I mentioned this like on the couples table before. Since Tom and I have been watching a lot of hockey, we see a lot of commercials now, and so many of the commercials are creator made. Like it's McDonald's
or made to look like it.
Yeah, McDonald's had a freaking
it's
commercial with someone in their phone eating chicken McNuggets, like all using their phone to record the commercial. So it's like,
I think it's like it's also because it's the production value that I think they're trying to go away from.
Right.
They're just trying to make stuff that's more relative. Like I saw a content creator, like his stuff is being used as the actual advertisement now for like on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's weird because like creators try to like get better at what they do, and then the big companies are like make it look less pro. And I guess we made I don't know.
Bailey says, even my brain was going at top gear to think of some of the answers to the questions. They were some in-depth questions.
Bailey, you were on fire. I did a spur of the moment live stream, and Bailey like jumped out of bed early in the morning and was moderator of the century over there.
It was awesome. You are so cool.
I know.
Kat says people want to connect with other people.
Yeah, I think so.
NAB? Do you know what NAB is?
The convention?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You should go.
You're going, right? You're going to Vegas. It's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
In April, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Some of my fellow instructors say that AI gets some of the beginning heavy lifting done.
Oh, I can see. I mean,
I was just telling someone this event that we went to. Like, there are programs out there that can do a rough cut of a talking head video. They'll cut out all the dead space. They'll cut out all the broken sentences, and it'd be so nice if you could just work off of that,
I mean, I can even imagine, like, especially being like back to my like English teacher days, thinking like, okay, we have to do a couple lessons on this very specific grammatical concept, and it's like if I could have chat or something, not create, but at least like start like, hey, can you give me 3 lessons about gerunds, like, and then it would create something, and I can go, oh, okay, that's how you would maybe explain this weird concept that like is weird, and I don't know how to explain this to a 14-year-old off the top of my head, but now I have an idea. I can take that, I can work with it instead of just sitting there like for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
it's great for like starting points. Like I even use it for like concept art, because as opposed to like going on like Pinterest, like it's great to like just generate something, and then you're like, oh, okay, that seems like good reference. It's like you can just get ideas. Like it's easier to have something to kick off, and then you could just like
it's easier to edit. That's what I think than to have the blank page. See, this is interesting to me. Mr. Cameron says, I saw the same thing during the Super Bowl commercials of the like creator type of commercials, which is crazy because like, I mean, if we talk about the most expensive, most highly produced commercials on the planet, it's during the Super Bowl. And they're using basically user-generated production level.
There's a big trend right now in commercial production. A lot of times it'll make its way in the form of like snapshots in a video, but I've even seen video do it where they're trying to make things almost look like old school MySpace era point and shoot camera with flashes.
Oh,
where
wow.
things are like really
Oh
harsh lighting.
my God, what? It was...
there's I've seen Taco Bell commercials. I've seen food delivery ads. I've seen...
Oh, it was a Taco Bell commercial with the mom and the daughter.
Taco Bell's done like several commercials in this style, but so have other companies now. And it's usually like people hanging out, and then it's like...
Yeah, and there's like...
Yeah, and you see the thing, and it's blown out flash, overexposed.
But it looks like super fun.
It looks like the photos you would post on MySpace in 2006 is what it looks like. And it's I've seen it like grow and grow and grow as a style, which I also know a lot of people, especially like in the Gen Z age range, are like kind of discovering and having fun with.
Yeah.
So that older low end tech that they either missed out on or were very young for.
Really
Yeah.
quick, Tatiana teaches. Hello, hello. First time tuning in live, but I see lots of familiar names in the chat from the Ecamp fam. Learned about you from Doc Rock, and I appreciate your free LUT.
Yay.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Let's go, Helio. What kind of work did Kevin do before YouTube? I'm skimming through his channel, and he's super smart.
Oh, thanks.
He is very smart. So, what kind of work did you do, Kev?
Well, for most of my career, I was like a digital designer, which was, like Photoshop, Adobe, and like Illustrator. And then I kind of
Why don't
went
you talk
more
about
to
some of the
like,
brands that you've worked with? Because I feel like
oh,
that's like cool.
because I hate them. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I was mostly at the biggest brand was Disney, so I was there for like almost 10 years, like in total for my career. I started
10 years to the
in,
mouse.
I know, right? New intellectual property development. So I was there like creating new properties, like new stories for them, specifically for like preschoolers and tween girls. And there was a bunch of other age groups like YA, like, yeah, teen boys, but none of them, like only two of them like made it successfully, but like this was like out of 18 ideas that we had to develop, which is like really sad because you get attached to one. It's like,
Doesn't
oh,
go
it doesn't
anywhere.
see the light of day. Oh well. But it's fine. But and then I moved over to Imagineering and research and development. And so that's where we worked with a lot of different technologies. So like AI was a huge push in research and development, and then robotics. A lot of the stuff now is like actually in the park, which is kind of cool. So like the
Yeah, I've
flying
seen the
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, well the didn't you work on the like non-conveyor
The
belt?
trackless
Yeah,
rides or
trackless. That's what
something.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, Rise of the Resistance, the ride vehicle for that, which was very complicated because it's like uses three different technologies. There's like a drop technology, there's motion, and trackless. So it's like very involved, but it's like the first of its kind. And then there's the Flying Spider-Man in California Adventure, and then there's the Walking Groot. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's the tiny one. And then like most recently, they talked about the hollow tile floor with Lanny, which is like the one where he could like walk multi omnidirectional, like in VR. Which is funny because like I remember 6 years ago that he had his first prototype, and I was trying to think of a way to like sell it. Like, how could you get other teams to give their budget to us so that we could develop it further? Because like
Mm,
Lanny, who is the researcher on it, he has multiple like awards as like a leading scientist. He has multiple papers. He's like super crazy smart. He's worked on all the effects for Disney, but he made this like hollow tile floor. And like the first thing we thought of was like VR. So I was like, this would be so cool for like pre-visualization to like walk through the park, like through like a headset and stuff.
oh,
Yeah, because that's how theme park designers, like that's what they have to do. They have to like be able to visualize like, spatially
yeah,
how things work,
the
because it's
experience.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, it's very difficult to build something on site and be like, oh shoot, the boat doesn't fit. Like
Oh
like you don't
shoot.
you don't want to like run into that
This
incident.
small world
So
is too small.
exactly. So like with pre-visualization, we also had like this crazy technology that I don't think they talked about it, but it's called like the dome. It's like a huge room that's like a circular, it's like circular shape, but you go inside of it and like it's a 360 projection where you can actually experience the ride. So in order to like go on the ride, you have to put chairs down, and then they would make you like ride Rise of the Resistance. So like that's how I experienced it for the first time. I experienced like Star Tours like in that room because they're just sitting there and like trying to see how everything works. The
That's
Zootopia
crazy.
ride that is opening in Shanghai, like every single ride is seen in that room. But yeah, so and then after that, I got laid off, but then I came back to that department, and then I came back to Disney Research, or no, not Disney Research, Disney Technology Studio. So it was a lot of like the tech studios, and there I was actually doing like more business development stuff. It was a very big departure from my previous role. I was like, why am I doing this? I'm working with budgets and headcount. Oh, because every executive is leaving. Like it was such a
Mm,
mess. It was such a mess because that's when Disney announced that they were going to Florida, and like no one wanted to go to Florida. Like no one wanted to obviously like,
Disney
you know,
drama.
yeah. So that was about like a year, I would say. So then, yeah, about total of like 10 years. But yeah, I think, obviously Disney has like a special place in my heart. I think like there I changed my career a lot. So like I initially started off as a designer and then I became like a developer. Then I just had multiple creative roles. And I would say like it's really difficult for me to tell someone like what I do.
Yeah.
So now I would just say like, oh, I'm a content creator, which I don't even feel like I'm like a content creator. I like creating art and showing the process, but I don't know. I don't know what to call myself anymore. And usually you should know.
What do you say?
I
I
just say
know.
have a YouTube channel.
I know he doesn't even have a title. I say YouTube creator. Because
Yeah,
I feel like that's like I can explain from there, but I feel like that like it's the closest thing to doctor we're gonna get in terms of a title that people understand.
yeah. I usually go like, oh, I was a teacher for 10 years or 11
Because if
years,
you
and
just
then
say
I
content creator, then everyone's gonna think TikTok or something. So I'm
yeah.
like YouTube creator.
Yeah, I've said that a couple times. People are like, oh, so you like dance and stuff? No.
You should though.
If I
Tom,
want to
you
have my own
should
cult.
dance.
Let's go,
The
Helio says.
Tom
Also, my
Bucket
channel is about vlogging
dancer.
at Disney World. I knew I liked him for a reason.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, great. That's
That's cool.
awesome. I
You should
honestly
look
haven't
into
been to
it.
the parks in like years, man. It's been a long
Well, I haven't
time.
either. See, my brother used to hook me up. Now he
I'm
doesn't
so
work there, so
sorry.
we don't go.
The last time I went wasn't like even for fun. It was like for work, and I don't know. It's like I want to be able to have. Oh, actually, I am going on a Disney cruise in 2 weeks, so I'm excited about that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yay.
That's
it
so
was not
cool.
my first choice for a cruise, but after thinking about it, I'm like, okay, this could be exciting.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
so much
fun to
fun.
be on the guest side because you're treated like a prince or a princess,
Well, yeah, totally.
Yeah, but then behind the scenes,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
a little difficult. So, yeah.
Kat says, I was thinking that yesterday. I don't think of myself as a creator. I teach and use video and written content to do it.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. What would you say? At some point, like when we, visited the family like 2 weeks ago, they were like, oh, what do you do now? Or I guess some of them still thought I worked at Disney. So then, like, our uncle went up to me and was like, which office are you in? Are you in Glendale or are you in Burbank? And I was like, well,
Oh, I heard that.
neither.
So
But
a
I
couple years
wasn't.
ago.
Yeah, I know. I was like, last year. It's just awkward. But and then when I told them what I really do, I don't know. It's like it's really hard to say because like my course was a really big thing about like my YouTube journey. So I was like, I'm an instructor, which I am. So that also hit a milestone, which is great. So
Yeah. Oh,
I
really?
passed 1,500 students.
Oh, that's
Jeez, that's
great.
that's
That's
so many
awesome.
people.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that was really like fun to see. I was like, oh wow, it's like that was fun.
Yeah. Do you have any stats on yours?
My courses? I mean, I just
Tom,
no.
Tom just like we'll be at Happier, and he's like, "Oh, I sold a course." I'm like,
That's
"This
great.
is so cool."
It's not 1,500 though. It's probably closer to 2 or 3 maybe. I was gonna say a thing and I don't remember what it was. So
I think it's always nice though when you like make a sale. You're like, oh, this is cool.
oh yeah, it's great. I mean, that's why I love the courses.
Oh,
in
you
there.
did.
Oh, that's what I say. I found a little bit of a life hack if I don't want to explain what I do. Like you're getting a haircut or something. It's like, oh, what do you do? I just say I work from home, and for some reason that's enough. People don't
Oh,
often
wow.
don't follow up.
Well, see, but he wants to shut him down. He doesn't want to talk about it. I love it, man. Ask me what I do. I want to. Let's go.
See,
He's just
you
like,
love
yeah,
that.
work from
Herbert.
home.
It's
Okay,
just
cool.
I'm with Tom on this. It's just so awkward. I usually just say I work from home, and then they can imagine what.
Yeah, which
It's
is
weird,
so
they
weird
they
because
don't
you guys are the
follow up.
ones with the freaking silver play buttons over here, and I'm like, oh, ask me, ask me.
I mean, I like talking about it with the right people. So like if I met Kevin and I
Yeah.
didn't know him and he was like, "What do you do?"
Well,
I'd be much
obviously.
more into to explaining what I do. But you kind of never know. And the thing, there's the speaking of MKBHD, there's a video I did like a year or two ago where it's him in an Uber, but he's also the driver and he's the passenger, and the driver's like, "Oh, like so what do you do?" And it's like he basically made this video. He's like, "Send it to anyone who asks you this question if you're a YouTuber," and it's like it's every like typical question of like, what does it mean? Do you do this? How does this work? And like he's just trying to answer the questions as a passenger in an Uber. And And that's, when you have those kinds of things where it's like, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. People are like, oh, I don't understand technology. Like, my kids like YouTube. Okay. I'm almost 40 and your kids probably don't watch your channel, but like, sure.
See,
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
very
know.
excited to talk about it.
I think it's exciting, but there's like so many connotations to it. Like I had this problem even at Imagineering. Like, okay, that was my goal as a kid to be an Imagineer. But then when I would say, "Oh, I'm an Imagineer," they'd be like, "What's that?" Like they don't
Yeah.
even know
Yeah, the
what
people
does
who
that even
know,
entail.
like,
Well, the people who
Exactly.
know are
really know.
psyched. Yeah.
But then then you say that you're a content creator. Well, like there's so many definitions to that. Exactly.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
so I don't know. It's
Mr. Camera Junkie says, I've been saying that I create media. It's been easier.
yeah, I like that. Like, I create online media.
I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with just saying you have a YouTube channel.
I mean, that's what I do. So that's
People
my normal
get
thing. I have a
it.
YouTube channel. Oh, like
audio
video production.
Look how sad. Look how uncomfortable he looks. Do you see this? He's so uncomfortable.
Well, because if the person's into it, then I'm like, let's talk about all the stuff. But for me, that's rare to encounter in real life, especially in the wild, like not at NAB or something where somebody's
Right.
like,
Not at VidCon.
what do you do? And it's like people look at me like I have three heads when I say like, oh, I'll do like a camera review or a microphone review. And they're like a review? Like, what is a review? And it's like one of the earliest things that was on the internet, man. Like, product reviews.
Yeah.
it's hard because I don't know, it's hard to explain.
I say I built a YouTube studio in my guest room, not a content studio. I think it's important to say YouTube.
YouTube is a bit, because there's a difference between making videos and making YouTube videos or videos
Yes.
for YouTube, and that is a very like.
Because I feel like when I said video, people thought like, you have a camera crew. That's not what I do. I don't do like the commercial type of video production.
Interesting.
So I always say YouTube because it's like, oh, you're the solo. You're filming yourself. Yeah.
That's true.
Maybe we can ask ourselves, if we printed our own business cards, what would we put as a title?
That is
I think all three of
great
us
exercise, actually.
have had our own business cards. We should, oh my God, we should dig them out and like look at the title we put.
I don't have a title on mine.
Oh,
It just says my name and like my URL.
what did you, have you put one, Kevin?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know. This is hard. Because when I was redoing my website, I was thinking about like, what should I put? I just put artist and designer, but that makes it sound so glib. Like it's
Glib? Oh my God,
It's
you
like
said
just-
glib.
How very glib. I
how
was like,
very
why does that get that
glib
word?
my description. It just sounds so awful. I don't like it. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of what.
Fine.
I'm gonna ask chat
Art-
right now. Speaking of AI, what's a good job title for a full-time YouTube creator?
It's going to say
Oh,
full-time
because
YouTube
you know the
creator.
guy from Defunct Land? He says that he hates calling himself a content creator. Kevin Perjurer. He doesn't like, because the thing is like he puts so much effort into those like videos. Like he wants to say he's like a filmmaker, but then how he obviously only makes stuff for like YouTube. So it's like,
Right.
what do you say if it's like in between? Because he's
Yeah.
not just like I don't know. It's
I
just
had to reassess my relationship with the word content. I've become more comfortable with it.
God, I used to hate the word.
Because
jeez.
to me, it feels like it's like meaningless. It's like
It's like
widgets.
thing,
Like
yeah.
I make widgets, but you're like, no, I make handcrafted, dining room furniture, or whatever. It's
I
like,
make widgets.
it's just a thing. It's just something to fill up this thing that we can put an ad on.
But
what
that's
content
because,
feels like.
but see, the reason why I think you think that is because your background is an English teacher. I think nowadays, if you ask a lay person, they're gonna think, when they think content, they think digital.
Yeah. And that's why I become more comfortable just saying it. It's like you make something online. Chat sometimes seems slightly passive aggressive because I said, what is a good job title for full-time content creator? And it said content producer and digital media entrepreneur. And I was like, they gave me one example. I was like, can I have a few more? And then it gave me like way too many examples. It's not like, can I have a few more? Sure, here's a few. It's like, oh, one wasn't enough. Here's way too many.
What? I like the word producer. But
That's a
then it
content
kind of
producer.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from like creator though, because you're
All of chats has an and, so it's like online content creator and influencer, YouTube personality and video producer. digital video producer and brand
Oh, I would
ambassador.
never say YouTube personality.
YouTube channel owner and content developer.
God,
I
it's
am
just
a
horrible.
personality,
Community
guys.
manager. YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm a YouTube personality.
Well, yeah, it's like calling yourself a guru. Like you can't call yourself a guru. That's like a title that other people say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that actually didn't help. Which, hey, you know what AI can't do? Figure out what our jobs are. It might be able to take our jobs, but it can't figure out what they are.
Tatiana says, titles have been on my mind too. I teach at a university in person and virtually. Online educator, perhaps. That would make sense to me.
Yeah.
Online educator.
The weird thing, though,
I think I've seen it even.
maybe it's from my world of public education, but when I say like, oh yeah, I teach online, I feel like people immediately ask like, who do you teach? What do you teach for? Like, what institution are you associated with? And it's like,
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
think online course. I see,
well,
but that's
even
my
that
background.
can have its own stigma too. Like online courses,
Yeah.
it's hard to say like, oh, buy my course sometimes because there's so many people who have given that a bad name as well. Even though
I think so. Because
hard.
there's a lot of people have really diluted the buy my course now.
Yeah.
I think when I said that I was an instructor, I think the first question I got from the family, they were like, who do you teach? And like where? I was like, all over.
Oh, who do you
And,
teach? Like, who are your students?
yeah, and like it's just hard to explain. It's just
Yeah.
hard.
I know, but I feel
I
like you
don't
guys are
know.
coming at it as if there's a right answer and a wrong answer.
There's-
People are like, in that situation, and I've been with you in most of the situations that we've met people because we're always together. They're not asking you in terms of like, all right, Tom, this is a job interview. You better
No.
freaking like.
I
have
wish
the
I
right
had
answer.
something that like even looking at Kevin's channel description. Hey there, I'm Kevin, an artist and designer. I love an experience. Well, then it goes on. But even that to me is like so succinct. I wish I had a succinct thing that I was. It's almost like I don't want to go this far, but if you go on LinkedIn and people have their like way too succinct, like I help people level up their ROI on quarterly whatever for this, that, like
Yeah.
it's too specific, but like
Yeah.
I know, but then I look at mine and I'm like, mine's hella specific, bro.
But I wish I had something like that I was confident in, but didn't have the like fakeness of the LinkedIn thing. Like yours does. Like artist and designer works, but even that I would worry like on YouTube, I see a YouTube channel, I see artist and designer, but if you talk to someone in the real world like I'm an artist and designer, I feel like they're thinking like, "Oh, do you sculpt? Do you paint? What do you do?" And it's like
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like it's so like relative to a person's experience. But
Of
then
course,
I feel like
'cause,
every single
what we
title
do is
like
a little
that.
odd.
it's
I don't know.
it is.
When you're saying you're okay, it's funny. It's like the advertising like roles. Like, okay, there's an account executive, and then in a company there's a marketing coordinator. They're the same damn role. It's just one is part of an agency and one is actually in a client company. It's just that like when you say account executive, it's like, oh, I'm an executive, like I have a business card. Yet I'm just pretty much a marketing coordinator. It's just I don't know. It just depends on like how someone perceives like that word, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Nothing wrong with saying you have a YouTube channel. I feel like many people know that you can make a great living making videos. I feel like we're at that point.
It's gotten better. That's what I say. I have
I
a
think
YouTube
so.
channel.
Yeah.
And then sometimes people go, oh, that's cool. Or if people are interested, they go, well, what's your channel? If they know to ask, like, what's your channel about?
Yeah.
They understand a channel can be about different things.
I've actually gotten the response like, what do you make videos about?
Yeah,
More
yeah.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got that one.
Because it used to be, do you work for YouTube or you have your own YouTube channel? When I
Right.
said YouTube creator, it's like, oh, so
Oh.
you work for YouTube. No. No. Like the platform is where I put my content that I make
Right.
is on YouTube. Yeah. Sometimes it seems we're living on two planets or in different dimensions. 90% of people I meet don't even watch YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
The amount of time I've had to explain to my parents, like, like the simple thing, like just go on YouTube and search how to solve this problem. It's literally anything, whatever device you're trying to program.
But you know what?
Whatever.
See, it's crazy because like when Tom was live, I mean, how many countries? 10? I would say at least 10 countries
that
were mentioned
specifically
yesterday.
stated where they're from.
Yeah, I'm like tuning in from like Indonesia, Ireland.
Oh,
Mexico,
Tom,
yeah.
actually, what's the biggest country that like tunes in to your
it's
content?
for me, it's the U.S.
How about you?
For me, it's the US, but then it's like I think India, and then it's like either Japan or South Korea.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Really?
it's very interesting. Yeah, because I guess they just don't leave comments, I guess. I have gotten a lot of like
Oh,
Korean comments, but it's very fascinating to see that it's like, oh,
Yeah.
like
Mine's the US, the UK, Canada, Germany,
yeah,
India, Australia.
same.
mm,
I
US,
know
UK,
India
Canada.
and Australia all keep leapfrogging each other for like the fifth place. It usually changes month to month. So Bailey, that
Um,
means you need to get more of your friends. To...
yeah,
my LinkedIn is overcomplicated because I can't decide.
it's
I feel like that's
tough.
real though.
I spent a lot of time trying to like redo all of that like recently, I think like last month, and I was like, wow, this is hard.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, but
I
then
need
I
to
like
delete
looked
my
at my
LinkedIn,
other
man.
coworkers and what how they position themselves, and I realized that like they actually looked at my original description.
You're just copying
And
someone
I was
copied
like,
you.
what the heck? Experienced designer and creative director. I was like, my gosh, you guys are so like, but they made it sound so much better. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow, like,
When someone does it well, it makes it look so simple. Like, oh yeah, of course, that's what you
yes.
Yeah,
do.
how else would you describe it?
But
Yeah,
Yeah.
creative
I haven't cracked
technologist,
that nut
XR
yet.
specialist. I was like, wow, you sound like you're kick ass.
Brand
That
evangelist.
Yeah, I was like,
sounds
oh my
awesome. So
gosh,
impressive.
it's so impressive. So
All right, well, that hour flew by.
I
I
know.
told Kevin, like, you don't have to stay the whole time.
I can't believe it's been an hour already. That's
Yeah.
insane.
So let's end with this. This
Yeah.
is Tom's favorite question. What's next for Kevin for your YouTube channel?
Hire a team, get a studio.
Oh yeah, no. I think I want to make some, I kind of touched on this in my last video, but I want to build something that's not attached to the technology. So like I think that's one of the biggest things I learned is that I don't want my YouTube channel to be attached to like a specific thing. I want it to be attached to like me or something I made. So like I think in my opinion those are really good channels to where, you know, you could no matter what you do, people will come back for the thing you made or you as a person. And like I
Versus the
realized
thing.
versus Blender. So I think a lot
Yeah,
of people like every time they were just like, "Oh yeah, I'm here only to learn a specific piece of information, but not necessarily like me as a
for you.
person."
Yeah.
And that's what I was really struggling with was like I don't know what kind of an audience like I want to have, but now like I'm really excited about like this new project I'm doing. Like I'm starting to create more story driven stuff with everything that I did learn. So I'm doing like the Theo project, which is like it's a Theo, the Easy Care desk plant. So
Yeah, you guys all have to see
this
this because
is
it's like
Theo.
so.
He looks
Oh,
different in
wait.
real
Let me
life.
see. Hold on. Oh, there's
So
just
this is Theo.
nothing.
No, there's yeah, there's there's nothing.
Oh, I
So
thought there was an
it's
actual
actually
plant there. We'll see. So here,
no,
this is
no,
what my
no.
brother
So
did. Look at this.
Yeah, let's show them Theo.
Okay, here. Yeah. Look at that. It's so cute.
so that's him trying to like put out a new leaf. But see, I wanted to work with like augmented reality, like new technologies.
I don't even know how
And
you
so
made
this was
this.
like my effort of wanting to like do something different. And I, you know, I wasn't sure about this idea, but I really like obviously like plants and I really
It's
like
so
making something
cool.
like story driven.
Yeah.
So
I feel
I'm
I'm very excited for you in this whole thing.
I'm really excited about it too because it's the first time that I was like, but I want to keep building it up, and I'm also trying to do Little Maxwell, which is like a series of shorts, obviously based on Maxwell the dog. But I was at a point where I needed to focus on like, okay, I need to do either Theo or Little, like I want to do all of them, but I have
Yeah.
to do them in a certain order. So I think for right now, like I'm focusing on Theo and still doing like process stuff because I've noticed that a lot of people don't like after 3 years, they're not really interested in the end result of the art. They just care about the process. Like I've
Hmm.
had to realize that like sometimes I make a reel or a video, people don't generally like the engagement of the final piece never gets more engagement than just like the process of creating.
Hmm.
Oh.
I
And
can
that's
see
what I've
that.
realized is that people are just interested in the process. So that's kind of where
Mm,
I kind of want to like go is like just to, you know, obviously focus on the process, focus on things that have brand equity, that are story driven, things that like are not tied to another factor. That's what's important for me this year.
Yeah.
at like passing 100K, because like, it's hard to build a channel. Like, you don't want
Yeah.
it to come crumbling down if all of a sudden your channel is based on Unity, and then all of a sudden Unity decides to charge creators 20 cents like every time they want to license a game. Like, okay, then your views are going to go down because
You are
no one
effed.
wants to use Unity anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you need to make something that's, reliable, and I feel like that's like stuff that you make, or, something that's like it relies on your personality. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you are, well, a lot of your popular videos are Roadcaster, but you did a good job of like, and audio and podcasts. Roadcaster is a tool as
Yeah,
part of that workflow.
that's one of my favorite tools for those things. But that's why I have dialed into audio video production, and I just keep thinking of an AV club. Unfortunately, like I really wanted to lean heavily into the idea of an AV club, but I don't even think they're around anymore. But for like 20 plus years, there was an online music magazine blog thing called the AV Club that was like the number one place for like album reviews, concert reviews, interviews, and stuff. And like everything that involves the AV Club is them.
Oh.
And so like, but that's what I keep thinking in the back of my head is like, okay, it's an audio video club. It's the nerds from the high school that like, not the cool program I taught, but like back in the day where it's like the kid would wheel in a cart and like try to make something work so that,
Yeah. You know who you're talking to.
Yeah, that's
You also have like a really relatable personality, Tom. Like, I think that in all of your videos, I feel like you've been able to balance so well you as a person plus the product that you're talking about. Because I think that's what a lot of people aren't able to do, is that like your personality really shows through every single thing that you do.
I didn't used to. I think you combine like the expert, because like, in YouTube coaching terms, it would be like be an authority or teach what you know, but you also I don't know if you intentionally do this, but you showcase the lifestyle of it.
Yes, 100%.
Like, this is
your office is like a story in itself. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting.
I saw on your live stream.
Huh?
On your live stream, like I guess someone was saying like, Tom, why don't you do a video on the
analog
game,
pocket?
The analog pocket. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that like, yes, you're in the AV space, but the thing is your personality like seeps through that people would even be interested in hearing you talk about something else, like not even related to AV, which is crazy.
That's where like my second channel definitely does come in, where it's like, because I do want to be aware of, the same thing you were saying, like even if I try to branch it out a little bit, the people did find this channel or subscribe to it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I can see that even on my second channel, not that it matters, but a lot of my earlier videos were music related, and then they switched to hockey related, and I can see the lack of interest in hockey related content. But it's like, I don't, in that world, I don't care. Like a video can get 0 views and I couldn't care less because it's just putting the stuff out there. On my main channel, it's a little bit of a different story. It's like, okay, I'm happy to be in this box, but there is a bit of a box here. But I do know, I will say, like, for me, if you go back and watch a video from like 6 years ago or whatever, like they feel the same, but there is a lot less personality in it, because I was so focused on like not wanting to waste anybody's time. Like they're here for the info. Let me get out of the way. And I remember it wasn't until I hit 10,000 subscribers. I actually did like a thank you 10,000 video. I think it was just a video. I don't remember if it was a stream or a video.
I think it was a stream.
Maybe it was both. But that was the point where I was like, you know what? Maybe it would be okay if I did put some cheesy jokes in here and did whatever. And that, for some reason, 10,000 in my mind was not that I needed a number, but that was where it felt okay to like, I'll just put a little more personality in here. And then, and it's a bummer that I'm kind of disappointed that for me it was connected to numbers, but it was. When I hit 100,000, I really felt less pressure in a way, because it felt kind of like there's so many people who have checked yes on this, that like when those other people show up and like, you suck and your channel, blah, 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 it's like, I don't know, like I disagree, because look at all these other people who disagree with you there.
Yeah.
It was a weird reassurance that it would be okay to try different things and whatever. And it's like, it's not that it had to be any specific number. I could have done that with 10 subscribers or whatever, but it was something that happened with 100. And yeah, and so going back to Kevin earning 100, I just hope you know how excited we are for you, and
Yeah.
how proud of you we are, and how awesome it is.
we're
And
like dancing in the living room, like, yeah.
I felt bad because I had been meticulously checking, not meticulous, but every couple of days, like, where's Kevin at? Where's Kevin at?
Refreshing, yeah.
And even I think it was yesterday, the day before, I was like, oh, I should check out where Kevin's at, because I wanted to make sure to like not miss it, and then I missed it.
That's okay. It's hilarious. Like I hope that I can feel that way, like how you felt comfortable at 100,000. I don't know. Maybe I'll still. It's just because I haven't really been uploading a lot. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is, and
Yeah.
I just need to get back into the rhythm of like uploading, and then maybe I'll be like, more confident.
Well, I
But
feel
I
like now
like
you
that
you have like the space too, and it seems like you're
I think
uh
so. I hope
yeah.
so.
It seems like you have a stride,
Yeah.
Now you could just do this.
It's so different for everybody. I was thinking about this too, because it's like you and I were talking about YouTube coaches a lot, and Kevin's experience with 100,000 versus mine versus anyone else versus anybody's experience with 10 or 100 or whatever. The analogy I was using, which works, you were talking about Disney rides, is like if you go on Pirates of the Caribbean and everyone's in the little boat, even though you're all at that theme park, on that ride, at that same day, at that same time, how you all got there is so different. Like the things that led to each of those people being in that boat on that ride at that time is like everyone had a completely different journey to get there, even though they're in the same place. And I feel like that is what YouTube is, where it's like, oh, you have a YouTube channel that has X number of subscribers or makes a certain amount of money or has been this successful or whatever. And it's like, yeah, but literally every even though it looks like here's 10 successful channels, the circumstances that led to that are so completely different for each one of them.
It is. It's kind of nuts to think about that. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, we can end it there.
Well,
congrats again.
Congrats.
Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much to everyone that tuned in. I really appreciate it.
Go check out Kevin's channel if you haven't already.
You guys are the best YouTube supporters.
Aww.
Well,
especially you, Het. Oh my
gosh. Best on the planet Earth.
I don't think I would have ever done this. Is it's a huge part of my life now. But I remember even thinking like 10 years ago, and I was making fun of you for it.
Dude, Kevin, straight up, my first vlog. The very first. Well, I don't think you were the first person. I don't know. You're the first person that I can remember. It must have been a YouTube. Of
course, because I'm your brother.
Yeah, and I was like, Kevin, look at my vlog. And he was like, you need to take this down. Like, you need to take this down right now. If future employers see this, you're never going to get hired. Everyone's going to think you're totally incapable and like blah, 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 blah. And it's just.
I don't know if I said it that harshly, but.
Well, that's how I took it.
Feel like.
Well, okay, I do end up remembering that. Yeah, and then I joined in on your videos. And then Heather made me dance on a street in the middle of the day during a Facebook Live. I had to dance.
This is when
Heather
oh my
was
God,
just
it's so funny because we're on a live stream right now. This was when live streaming was not accessible to the common person.
Was
but
it like
had
Periscope?
Just released.
No, it was Facebook Live.
Yeah, like you couldn't just go live on your phone. There was still like restrictions. Like people could not go live easily. And then all of a sudden Facebook flipped the switch, and I was like, Kevin, we have to try this. Like, and I need you to help me do this.
And we can only do it by dancing in the street.
For some reason, that was now I gotta pull.
That's like one of my favorite videos of you, because I remember you made me a screwdriver in the beginning because I was like, I can't do this when I'm sober.
Oh yeah, I know. We totally had to liquid courage it up.
So funny. Yeah, but I don't know, Heather, you've always been that kind of a person where, it just comes so naturally for you, and that's so infectious. I think you've played definitely a huge part. Oh my gosh!
Look at these kids.
Whoa!
Look at these kids. Oh my God.
What's the date on this video?
It is set July 19th, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, this video is like the best.
You're just eating.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
All right. Yeah, and then like I had him learn a dance that we
God,
would
what a
do
good
on the
sport.
street. I know. And then like literally this is in the middle of Long Beach, California. I just took the phone and I was like, we're going to do a flash mob like down the street.
2-person flash mob.
Yeah, we're just going to dance. And I just put my phone on a tripod and we just walked down the entire street. This is my
Oh,
roommate.
Pranka joined.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
And
actually
like
a lot of fun.
this was like
I'll
a
never forget that.
Sunday when like brunch was happening. So all these restaurants like had their like tables and chairs on the sidewalk. Oh, here, this is when we bust out the routine. I can't play the music because it's like Justin Timberlake, but here's it.
Oh gosh.
Look at us.
Oh,
go.
you had.
Da, 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 da. My brother was always down for my crazy ideas. Like, and there's just people walking, and I was just like, let's just go. Let's just look at your
It's my
face.
nightmare.
that-
Oh my God.
No one stopped to be like, you guys. No one.
Well, the
said
people
it.
There's
were
a
like,
lot
what
of
is
people
this?
walking
Look at
by.
all these people. Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know, I phased that out of my mind and I was just going with it. Oh, man. Oof.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh, God.
There he is, YouTube's newest 100K creator.
Anyway, if you want to watch this, it is a classic. I gotta put the link here because it's
Oh, man,
just
that
so good. This is when
That was so fun.
I knew, but I didn't know. And like I missed that part of my YouTube journey when it was just like testing. I think this
The
is like
experimentation.
this is like everyone's like when you first start a channel and you're just like, I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I just want to make something, but I don't know. And now you're making 3D printing videos,
Yeah.
you're making videos about whatever. That was fun
I
time.
missed that. I really missed that. There was just something like fun about that experimentation phase. You're just trying to figure out like, oh, what is it that I like? And
Yeah, here,
Yeah.
Mr. Camera Jump Geek. TikTok before TikTok. Exactly. We had no idea.
Yes.
I don't even think like YouTube live stream was definitely not a thing yet.
No, and there used to be,
I
I
don't
forget
think
what the
so.
restrictions were.
Yeah,
but
you needed like 100 subscribers or something, and then you needed to install like something that like OBS, but not it wasn't free.
Yes, it was
Complicated.
very complicated.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that was fun. We've come a long way, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We should do it again in Palm Desert. Just kidding. In sorry, in
Hell
Indio.
yes, I am
Yeah,
down.
you guys have fun. Have fun, guys.
You can hold the
I'll
camera.
moderate the chat on that one.
You can fly the drone.
Yeah, okay. You can
All
live
right.
stream from drones.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you guys for having me. That was
congrats.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, congrats.
Yay.
Yay. All right.
Ross and Monica at New Year's. I just saw the,
Oh.
the comment from Catherine.
All right. I
Time to
have.
clear the table.
It's time to clear the table.
Hope
But
you-
my outro screen doesn't have you, Kevin. So sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope everyone has a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week, and we will see you next time.
Bye.